We are Cannabis Specialty Packaging, and you're watching the Cannabis Packaging Show. Today we're going to give you proof that packaging increases your sales. And this is where we need an intro with some music.
Cue intro song.
Cue the intro. It's coming soon. Let's see how fast we do it. Welcome to the Cannabis Packaging Show, the world's first cannabis packaging show. This is episode number 15. A little bit embarrassing there. I'm not totally sure. Let's keep going. Today's show, we got some news for the day, some proof that packaging will increase your sales, and as always, the idea of the week. So let's start with some news. Police raid dispensary over cannabis-infused candy. Child-friendly packaging is the reason for this. So 150 pounds of high-potency cannabis candy seized from illegal dispensary.
Yikes.
And the main reason cited was child-friendly packaging. So the police are cracking down. These laws must be followed. Some people agree with them and say, yes, we should not have child-friendly packaging. Some people say, hey, it's the responsibility of the users to keep the cannabis away from the children. But frankly, it does not matter what you think. It matters what the law says. So we have to be careful. And that's the news of the day. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings there. The next segment, Ingrid. I was in New Orleans. And I sent an episode of the Cannabis Packaging Show at the MJ BizCon to somebody, and they said, Ingrid, we want to know what Ingrid looks like. So I told Ingrid that. She said, 100,000 subscribers, you can see what Ingrid looks like. Right, Ingrid? She actually didn't say that. She just said, no, I'm staying off the camera.
That's me.
Okay, so we're going to do, this segment's going to be proof that packaging increases your sales. It's something that we all know. I think the grocery store is the greatest example of this when you're making decisions on what you're going to buy based on packaging. It's just the reality. So you have 2 things of honey. This was a real predicament in my life just a week ago. I thought I would share with you. And you're saying, what you going to buy? You haven't tasted the honey. You don't know anything about the honey, but you see 2 packaging examples, and that is your salesman. The packaging is your salesman in this example. So, frankly, Ingrid, do you have any thoughts on this? If you don't, I'm not sure if you do, but what do you have to say about this?
The label on the right is much more generic looking, and the one on the left looks like a real brand, and the bottle has a nice shape, and your eye just goes to that one more because of the colors and the...
I take the one on the left way more seriously than the one on the right, yeah.
Right, so how do you know? Maybe the honey in this one is actually better tasting, maybe it's higher quality, but as consumers, we shop with our eyes, and as the late Steve Jobs said, people do judge a book by its cover. And that is why Apple is a great brand, and that's why you can be a great brand. And I hope this revolutionary example of honey has changed the way you see packaging forever. Okay.
How long were you standing there staring at the honey, Michael?
I'm not going to answer that question, although they did say, Michael, the grocery store is closing, it's time for you to leave. I said, all right, I'll take both of them.
They know you by name.
I do this a lot. Okay. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the item of the week.
Woo!
All right. Great applause. Thank you. So, we have a wonderful box. Ingrid, please take it away with the details.
Yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about embossings and the things you can do with them. We have milled paper that comes with embossings, but you can also get a custom embossing on your packaging. I will move closer so you can see it. This box is an uncoated board, I believe. And the sleeve on it has this embossed pattern on the front and back, which adds, from a distance, even if you cannot see the embossing, it still adds a visual texture that's very intriguing, that makes you kind of want to pick it up and feel it. So I think the feel of packaging is really important. You have to have things that draw your eye in, and then when people pick it up and they want to touch it and they want to know,
Definitely elevates it.
they want to see with their hands, I guess. So adding a nice embossed pattern is a great way to elevate your packaging. You can also emboss your logo treatments. I have an example over here. This one's a little bit more subtle. It's in the background. And they have their logo print, their brand printed over it. But you can emboss your logo. You can do an embossed pattern just to add a little bit of background texture. And then, of course, you can add other treatments over it, ink or a spot UV or foil, to really make that texture pop. And that is our item of the week.
Love it.
That's our item of the week. Thank you for sharing. I'm particularly interested in how you can see with your hands, something you just talked about. I had to make fun of you a little bit because of the honey comment. Okay. Heather, do you have anything about, I think that's a great point Ingrid brought up about, all kidding aside, the texture. When you see something and you look at it and then when you feel it for the first time, I think Contempo packaging gets a lot of compliments because of the soft touches, because of all that stuff. Do you have anything to comment on that?
Yeah, I definitely think adding some kind of texture or embossing, it definitely makes your brand just look more luxury than the average brand. And exactly, what Ingrid said, having like a nice finish on it just takes it up a notch.
So these,
I think is awesome.
Even if it's something really simple.
Yep.
This is a sleeve for a coffee from a coffee shop that has an embossing on it. So it's really something utilitarian and something everyday, but you add an embossing on it and it makes it really extra special and interesting and something that you want to keep and hold on to.
okay. So these are the little things, oftentimes the small details that make the big difference. The small details that are the difference between average and exceptional. So, these are some tips, things to keep in mind. Talia, sitting there behind the camera, anything you want to add?
Got nothing.
Nothing today? Okay. Well, thank you as always for watching the Cannabis Packaging Show. Thank you for being you. We will see you next week.